Hey everyone, I'm Clue, and welcome back to Soda Dungeon 2. Now, this isn't quite where we left off. Yeah, I've cleared all the save vitals because basically we're gonna start the final playthrough. Well, probably not, right? I have a tendency to revisit this game a lot, but we are starting a fresh playthrough and we're going to try and do things as optimally as possible, at least that I can think of. Now, we'll go over why this is exactly, because obviously the last thing we were doing was a challenge run, but let's just crack into this so we can do it, somewhat speedy, somewhat optimally. There is, plenty of downtime for us to talk. It is basically just going to be a speed run of Dimension 1, which if you haven't seen done, is quite nice, quite easy, is quite quick, right? Especially since we have the magic clock unlocked, which is quite nice since it is save file specific, right? Not playthrough specific. So we will start with the magic clock even here in Dimension 1, which means we could probably get a faster than the world record time, which, not to toot my own horn, but I do hold, right? I have the any percent Soda Dungeon Dimension 1 speedrun of 26 minutes, and that run in itself is just a giant RNG fest that I got extremely lucky on, so that is probably gonna stay there for quite a while, right? But anyway, why are we starting it? Simply put, I don't have the time for the challenge, right? So the challenge run is basically the same thing. So it is start the dimension, hire a Soda Junkie, hire a Mystic, hire what else? Nurse, Miner, Thief, and Carpenter, right? I get to the boss, I clear the boss. I do Primal Lands, I get to the boss, I clear the boss, right? I show you just those highlights, and overall I've spent, like 3 hours playing, and it's only going to get longer for each dimension. And simply put, I don't have the time at the moment to do that. There's other stuff for me to obviously do, hobby-wise, my channel. It's the main content that I make is Flesh and Blood, which is a wonderful TCG card game, right, that I'm very invested in, and is, again, the main priority of my channel, followed by a Minecraft project that I really need to get back to, but I also haven't had that much spare time for. And then lastly, miscellaneous games, which includes Soda Dungeon. So I'd like content that I can sit down, I can record, and I can get value out of, right, to the same extent of what I'm putting in. So if I'm spending 3 hours and I'm getting, 20 minutes of content, or rather, one video off it, it's not that great for me personally, right? It's a huge amount of investment for a singular video when I want, consistent, regular content. So in that sense, I'd much rather do this, something I am capable of, something that we can actually, again, I put, half an hour into it, I get a 20-minute video out of, right? Which is definitely workable for me. We will clear a few more enemies, right? Get 33 gold. But yeah, so I thought this would be a better way to spend the time that I do have, and is, overall seems like something, people of my channel have actually been asking for, right? Proper guides and everything you need to understand and just make the game your little toy. I was going to use some not so nice language, but we'll play nice. But yeah, so we will just basically play the game as optimally as what I can think. So we're going to speed through Dimension 1, we're going to speed through Dimension 2, speed through Dimension 3, then on Dimension 4 we're actually going to do a lot of the end game shenanigans, right? Unlock Stein, start cheesing with it, go through all that, and yeah, have fun, but again, most of all, show off ins and outs that you guys can use, right? Rather than me doing a challenge where it's just, weird restraints that I personally put on myself. It'll actually be, useful concepts that actually help learn the game's mechanics, learn the ins and outs, and learn, what exactly you need to do to play to your best of ability. So we are doing speedrun, and I should probably explain a little bit. Right now, it's pretty much downtime, right? We're just clearing, we're just trying to rack up gold. We can't really get to 20. It'd be fantastic if we get to 20. This is kind of a rough room because of the giant ogre. There are pseudo-elite enemies, is what we'll phrase them as. So, for instance, once you get past the 10 floors, you end up having enemies that have slightly higher HP, and I like to call them pseudo-elites, right? So they are a bit more of a pain to clear. Hopefully we get this guy. Perfect. No, we'll do that. Bonus treasure. We'll take it. So, for instance, these slugs and this little toad thing, they have higher than normal HP, making it a bit more difficult to clear. That's where the damage sort of ramps up, and then obviously every 20 floors, the area changes, and that also leads to a increase in HP. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, perfectly, we do have enough gold, so I can build the blacksmith straight away. We can craft. We will end up buying 2 iron, and we will try and make the iron sword, which we should be able to if we sell. So we don't need the bottles, we don't need as many wooden swords, we're crafting 1, we don't need the stools, we don't need the healing stones at all, and then we don't need pelts. Keep the bone, don't need mushroom. We're a little off, but I can sell 1 wood, perfect, right? So now what we have is Soda Junkie with a sword. Oh, not enough to hire them, but that's fine. So that comes in. Carpenter with 1 healing stone, perfectly, right? So now we should be right to get all the way to 20. And again, I'll show you what I mean with the elites once we get to them, because now we can try and clear them a lot more optimally, right? If we put 3 attacks into one and then the iron sword into the other, it should always be enough to clear, meaning that the 2 enemy rooms we don't have to worry about, or in the 3 or 4 enemy rooms, we can clear the slugs, which do actually give us a speed down, which is something we desperately want to avoid, because speed down is one of the worst status effects in the game, followed by, well, actually, what's the phrasing? Exceeded by? No. Surpassed by? Yeah, surpassed by delirium, which is when your own characters start hitting one another. So this slug, for instance, needs to go. Now, unfortunately, we did mess up. I was meant to attack the spider with one of the others, and then we could have cleared perfectly. So I will do it manually from now on, and I probably should have nailed at him. So, for instance, these can go into that guy, that can go into there, and this should be enough to clear. Perfect, right? I didn't really explain that well. Let's try again. On the 4 enemy, well, never mind. Slugs, they didn't actually slow us down. Now we don't have the back attack, so it will be 1 attack and 1 iron sword attack to clear. And unfortunately on this guy, I don't think we have enough damage. Maybe with the nailed it, we do perfectly. Right, so that clears them. Now this room's a bit tricky. So we do nailed it, and we hit, and that's 1 down. This one will live, but this one will be cleared by the back attack. And lucky for us, we did not get the stall effect, so this is actually really good, because it means we get to do the boss. We have decent chunk of HP, and then we'll be able to unlock the wizard and skip 220 straight away. So this is really good for the speedrun. So we'll see if we can keep up pace and actually get a really, really good time. So we get ourselves gold. No, that's fine, but we have the quest gold nonetheless. I will clear a few enemies because we'd like to hit 200, which we can do if we clear this guy. Perfect, and then I'm right to quit out, regardless of whether or not we can clear the ghost. It would take 3 hits, so it'd actually take 1 extra turn, which is not good enough for us to actually do it. But now with 200 gold, we can buy the Wizard's Tower, which is perfect. Exit, grab the quest, dun dun dun. Right, talk to the carpenter, build structures, do that. Now we can warp, and that's super useful. We also turn the quest for some gold. I'd like to craft 1 more sword, and then also be able to hire efficiently, which we can. So hire the Soda Junkies first, so they get the iron swords, then the carpenters, and then all we have to swap is the healing stone. So yeah, if you know what items you have, you can rig it so you do it in the most optimal fashion. But now we can start at 20 and hopefully clear the boss. Again, trying to rack up gold. The next big unlock for us is going to be the bed. So the bed allows us to refresh the tavern, which will allow us to always get a full party. But if we could get the gold to skip that, we would definitely take that, and we'd try and go straight for the mystic. I'm messing up because I'm pretty sure I only need those 2 attacks and the back attack to clear. I don't need to waste one of the attacks. So this room was not as optimal. We should be able to do the mini boss, I think, with the 2 iron swords. Perfect, and we get a key. Now, this guy has the confusion debuff, so we definitely want to clear him. So we do that, and that should be enough damage. Perfect. Unfortunately, we lost someone, so that lowers our odds against the boss. So I should be healing rather than playing as aggressively as I am. But we're still decent enough to clear. No, we're not. We're missing the sword, and the burn damage is really bad. That clears you. I definitely need to heal, though, which I should have done while we're fighting the knight. I'd rather have a heal or a warp, but unfortunately it's just that chest. So I have screwed up, unfortunately, and we're not actually going to be able to clear the boss. But luckily for us, we're not losing anyone just yet. We might be able to clear the rats. Perfect. We can heal you up and maybe clear the ghosts. No, not quite. Heal you up. Clear the ghost. No. So that should be the ghost done. Alright, so we're in an okay position. It all comes down to the RNG on the actual boss, depending on what it chooses to do. It has 1 attack where it hits 2 people, I want to say, and 1 attack where it single attacks. So now we have a somewhat chance to actually clear this. No, we got the swipe. So if it is single attack again, I think we would have had enough damage to clear it. So basically what just happened is we wasted the 10 floors. Since we didn't get the boss done, we didn't get the warp. So it was just an exercise in futility, but we should still be able to do this fairly quick. Hopefully, again, goes a little bit better. We have the bone as well, which is a nicer weapon. We could also make another iron sword if we really wanted. We can also see what else. If he ever has a power glove, you really want the power glove. So I should be checking for that, because I think it can spawn at any time. I'm pretty sure it drops. It's just a somewhat rare item. Whirlwind is slow animation. We'll play this more carefully. I will actually heal. And an ambush like this, I would probably quit out and restart because this ambush is just going to be bad. Right, we're going to take so much damage. If I want to heal through it, it's just going to really be a loss in speed. But yeah, we'll play it out. Again, this isn't really a speed run. This is just a bit of fun. We'll see. Perfect. We got crits. We can heal. Hopefully finish the ghost off. Perfect. Finish the rat off. Don't have to use any special attacks against the mini-boss. We'll take the mystery parts. So it's always good to take the random chance, right? A warp or a fairy, either way, if the fairy's good or not, is going to be quicker than clearing a room. Mineshaft is horrible, unfortunately. So I'm just going to let this auto play out and we'll skip it. Well, it's nice in the fact that we don't have to buy iron anymore. It is way too slow. Now, we might be in a position to actually try and go to 40. But again, this is the bad idea, right? I shouldn't be trying to go to 40. I should quit out here, refresh basically. Because if we don't get to 40, it's just another waste of time. But for the sake of this, we'll try it, right? It never hurts. Again, for the actual speedrun, if I were to reattempt it, I'd have to do really risky things to actually have a chance of beating the world record. So yeah, I mean, we might get lucky. It looks like we're doing okay. We only have one heal left, which is unfortunate because we're burned and we're also very weak. So don't hit you. Perfect. Done. We definitely do the mini boss. The burn is gone. Oh, never mind. We didn't have enough damage. Okay, so that definitely killed the run. So we will leave. We won't invest any more time than that. That's fine. We got some gold. We got some decent stuff. I will actually end up crafting the swords since we lucked in. Nope, never mind. He doesn't have wood for sale. Bad blacksmith. We also only have a 3-party, so we're gonna fish for a bit of comp. So we just quit out. I can also buy some of the tavern upgrades. It's kind of worth it. It's kind of not. You really just want to get to mystics. Mystics are just so overpowered. In fact, it's probably worth just resetting until I get another 4 comp and then trying to farm the gold. We'll see. If we don't get too lucky with the tavern, I'll buy some more upgrades. But we're still making fairly decent time. Again, we do have the magic clock as a big help. But we'll see what we can do now. Grab you. Again, swap the healing stone to the carpenter. And probably the one with the bone. That should be fine. Alright, let's see if we can get these 10 floors done. It hits. I really need to check the damage though. So I know that should be clear. It's whether or not it's the sword and bone. Sword, bone, iron sword is clear. Or if the three aren't clear. So yeah, keeping track of all of this is definitely valuable because you want to obviously use your damage optimally, right? So that way I can heal, still clear effectively, and then do the extra damage. Although we are wasting MP. Now, oops, I was meant to nailed it because we don't have enough damage. It's fine, it doesn't do too much, and we can heal through it. I should have also taken the time to heal there, right? Yeah, that's kind of bad because now we have to waste. But with the 2 iron swords, we might be able to do. Yeah, the ghost, perfect. I don't need to heal anyone else. It's really just the burn damage that I'm worried about. Conserve the mana. The boss, it doesn't matter. The boss is going to do way too much damage anyway. So it's more just whether or not we have the HP for these rooms. Which it looks like we kind of do. I can clear another one, so we'll take the time to heal. Do that. Heal up you. And then it's just 4 enemy room, which is always skeletons for whatever reason. I don't know why. 39 is the one room where it's just always set, which is kind of interesting. So we want to get down to 1 enemy before we try to, focus on healing. Although we are running out of mana anyway, and that might be the clear. Nope, perfect. So we can do that. We can do that. Again, we can't actually survive this boss. So if it does its swipe or the poison, yeah, we have no chance of clearing it. Nonetheless, we're at 800. God, I can't talk. We're at 800 gold, right? So once we get to 1k, that's when we can buy the Mystic. So either way, this run is going to net us exactly what we want. So do that, and that. Again, change the healing stones. We also have a little bit more healing now, so that does make it somewhat viable. But this would definitely be a restart if it was the actual speedrun. We've lost way too much time. We'll see what we can do. Well, we actually got a warp, only to 37. So that's actually really bad, because that's a huge loss of gold when we know we're probably losing to the boss, unless we get another one. Nope, instead we get poisoned. Yeah, so probably a loss to the boss and just a complete waste of time. We probably earned as much gold as what we ended up making, unfortunately. In fact, probably less. Yeah. But no matter what, everyone dies to the boss, so there's no point in actually healing. We got the swipe, which could have made this work if we had a little bit more damage. We are getting levels, which are stats, so that's kind of nice, but, it's still not the objective I hoped. We're 100 gold short. We can actually see if we can sell some stuff, so I should probably do that. Right, if we go sell, we can sell some iron swords, 1, 2, 3, so we only need 4, so we might as well sell another one. And then materials, we can sell the copper. I want to keep the bones. In the speedrun, you just sell everything, but the bones are useful for the next dimension. Don't need leather, don't need the spectral draught, don't need the wings. Keys are useful further in, so we'll probably save that. We're at 990. I'm going to sell some iron, right? We will buy the mystics. Because even one mystic at this point will make a world of difference. We'll start at 1, and we'll probably just clear to the boss so that we have enough gold to actually hire the mystics. So yeah, this is unorthodox in terms of what you'd actually do in the speedrun, but we gotta do what we gotta do. It would definitely be a restart at this point. We've just done way too much lollygagging around. So if we don't get the gold, you need 50 gold to hire one. We got the gold, that's fine then. Actually, I need the floors as well, so we'll go to 100. Alright, an ambush is kind of nice now. Do that, and that. Alright, so we've got the 50 for one, and then enough to hire some carpenters, and then go to the floor, the warp, I mean. Sorry, I'm trying to think if I want to clear some of this room. I don't want to clear that. I don't want to attack the ogre because we can't do it in one. So then you get an attack, and that's just slower. 122 should hopefully be enough. Only a minute spent. Perfect. We got a mystic and 5 Soda Junkies. So, yeah, the mystics are just OP, right? Basically, they have a base damage of... Never mind. I guess you don't get to see it just yet. Let me not mess this up. They have a base damage of 20, right? And that 20 is just fantastic because scaling-wise, it's everything you need for Dimension 1 and basically Dimension 2. And yeah, look at that. If we had 2 mystics, we could clear everything so easily. 1 mystic is still fairly decent. In fact, I wanted the placement to be on the 4th spot so that we could animation stack, which is another thing we'll get into. But nonetheless, right, this is definitely guaranteeing that we can do the boss, maybe even do it in 1. We'll take the healing fairy because now we can probably go to 50, which is definitely something we want to do. But you do want 2 mystics. Basically, at 20 to 40, if you have the mystics, you want 1. Then 40 to 60, you want 2, and then 3, and then 4, and so on. And then that way you can just auto-clear with the cast on every single room that is more than 1 enemy. But we should be fine here. Yep, perfect. We still have 4 people, we still have 2 iron swords, so yeah, I think we're going to try and go to 50. The boss on 50, for whatever reason, is scaled lower than that boss that we just defeated, right? He has less HP. He does more damage, obviously. Well, actually, his attacks are worse because he only has a double attack. So overall, I think he's significantly weaker. I don't know why. And then same goes for the one on 60, I believe it is. No, 70. Yeah, so any big guy with 2 swords is very weak for whatever reason. Now, we also kind of want to heal. We'll definitely cast on you. You should have a healing stone, perfect. We do want to survive. Yeah, that, I might have botched it. So, oh, never mind, we get a warp. This is where the luck comes into play. So we get to 53, I do have to clear 1 room, right? Whenever you warp, you don't actually save progress. You have to clear 1 room to do that, right? So now that we've hit 54, I can quit out and then we can use the wizard warp, right, to start at 50. We also don't want to turn any of the quests since we're going past this dimension. If we were just doing the speedrun, obviously we wouldn't. Now this is awful, right? Just 1 mystic. So even if I were to buy the bed, the problem is I hire this mystic, then I use the bed. It's already costing 46 gold. We get another one. Now it's costing 72. And I would technically like 3, but we can get away with 2, so we'll do 2. The rest of the party doesn't really matter, but because we're going further, I want the XP. It all does add up. But now we should be fine to clear, right? 2 casts and then hits should be plenty of damage. Although again, you'd want to generally hit first and then cast. Some enemies, the ones with slightly higher HP, might not be cleared. Nope, look at that, we're fine. So yeah, so animation stacking, that's a big thing in terms of speed, especially late game, right? So as long as we clear using a group attack, they all die on the same tick, meaning that they play their animations at the same time, and you don't have to watch them one after the other, which does make a huge difference in speed, right? Burn, we don't really care about because we're not going past the boss. Do we die to burn? No, we don't. Yeah, so now it's just the boss. And we're hoping to always see 2 mystics in the tavern. That way we don't have to pay through the nose for our mystics with the bed. So we'll see. I could have also cast since we're not actually going further. I might do it just for the gold, right, to smooth things out in case we do have to use the bed. Oh, never mind, there's plenty of gold. So now, again, 60 to 80, we want 3 mystics, and then 80 to 100, we want 4. But we're making good time again, which is nice. Oh, perfect, we got 2 mystics. So now we're just looking for that extra one. Do I take the... It's only 110, we will. Alright, so we got 4, which means that we might be able to get all the way to 80 if I play it right. Unfortunately, again, I've messed up the positioning. So you can double cast on these floors, right? That's enough to clear. But ideally, that means I want to hit, and then double cast. So again, that we stack the animations, like so. So on a 3 enemy room, we can't actually do that unless I had a buffer of the Soda Junkie and the Carpenter before the Mystics, which would technically still be quicker, because I could just defend, except on the Soda Junkie. But the Soda Junkie first and the Carpenter defend would have been absolutely fine. So we can only really clear the 2 enemy rooms optimally with the current setup, and we might not necessarily have enough mana to clear. Depends how the boss goes. As long as he does his, as long as we do enough damage, I should say, to clear it quickly, we might be fine. So I do want to defend here and keep the mana even. Perfect, and then for enemy, we obviously have to triple cast. So 15 means we have 5 casts left, which technically, if we do the 2 enemy rooms without casting, as well as the boss, we should be fine. But unfortunately, as you see, we don't have enough damage unless we do cast. So I will probably have to reset, which is fine. Again, we have a ton of gold, and we're still making decent time. But if you don't have to, you know, go through this window, or this animation, I should say, it is gonna obviously be quicker. But we do get the stat bonus, which I guess is kind of nice there. The mana stat bonus is what you really want. Oh, we only got 1 as well. So we're paying through the nose. 1. I would love a full party, which we can kind of get. And maybe we can go all the way to 90 now. We'll see. I should also be checking the shop, but I'm not. So, oops. But now we can go attack, attack, and then double cast. And that way it clears, and we can sort of, you know, 1 cast of mana. So even on the 3 and 4 enemy rooms, we can now do that. So definitely useful to have a full party of mystics. Again, the main constraint is the gold, and ambushes are worrisome. If it wasn't a 4 enemy room, I could heal. So on the next room, we will heal back up. Oh, we were shy on damage. That is actually scary. That was not meant to happen. So you need to heal you. This boss is also going to get through, which is bad. And we also lose mana because we have to cast. But we should be okay. If I do that, yeah. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. This guy is not doable with the wooden sword. That's the issue. So if I have to attack something with the wooden sword, then I am not going to be able to clear with the magic casts. Now we do, again, want to try and keep them, you know, somewhat even on mana. Healing, please. Yes, perfect. Okay, so we can definitely go all the way to 90. So that's definitely useful. It's quicker, in actuality, to triple cast on the 4 enemy rooms than attacking, if you know, count the frames. So yeah, it's better to do that. I will conserve the mana, because generally this guy just AoEs, and the AoE does not do a ton of damage. So we should be able to clear it in 2 rounds. Perfect. And that makes it pretty easy, as long as we don't get screwed over by an ambush, to get us to the 90 boss, and then that just leaves the Dark Lord. So I will actually take the time to heal up. We can cast to clear this. You can cast, and then on the mini-boss, no, this mini-boss is really bad, so we can't heal on the mini-boss. We will still heal up on these guys, though. So 6 and 6, and then cast. Alright, so we should be fine, even with an ambush, unless we get a Red Knight ambush, then we're kind of screwed. Now, the elites of this section are the slugs again, so you do have to hit them, and then triple cast in order to clear effectively. Otherwise, it's not going to go well. Same with these little ghost guys. So just having that knowledge is, you know, super useful, again, in terms of speed, in terms of enemy stacking. Now, the mini-boss, I am going to cast on everyone, because I want to clear it in 1 round, because it has a very bad debuff, right? It can confuse 3 enemies, which makes it super deadly. Now, I can't remember. I think the Red Knight is an elite. We'll see, right? I know the pig and the slug are, so if the Red Knight clears, yeah, it would have been better to hit these 2 and then cast. Ambush did 18. That makes me a little worried about the boss, but we should be fine, I want to say. So even if it was full HP, I don't know if we could have done it. Well, then we get a warp, so it doesn't matter anymore. Could we do the Dark Lord? That is a bigger question. With 5 and no mana, depending on what he decides to use, maybe we could take the Healing Fairy if we get a Healing Fairy now. Alright, we'll try and do the Dark Lord. Okay, so our RNG definitely turned right around. for this little end section, and that allowed us to do it fairly quickly. Unfortunately though, even with the magic clock, I think this is still going to be slower than the speedrun, unfortunately. So yeah, again, the RNG that I got for the actual speedrun is just absolutely insane. So I should be hitting, but we don't really have the party members to do that. So we will take the time difference, unfortunately, letting their animations play and then their animations. Now, we want him to attack the 26, because I believe he does 21 damage from memory. We'll see. I'm probably wrong. Let's see. He does 18. Yeah, so we still want him to hit the 26. Now, if he turns around, it's better to swing with the Iron Sword, because the crit would be more damage, and then if it's not a crit, it's only 2 damage difference, I want to say. So, damn, no, it's actually sizable. This is worrisome. We want him to Shadow Slicer, even though it has a slow animation, because then we could survive. I think we're not actually going to be able to do this, and then I've just wasted. We'll get 2 attacks, but that's not going to be enough. Yeah, so the HP was the problem. Oh well, with a full party and the levels, we're going to be absolutely fine. Plus, we'll get some sort of gear drop, I'm sure. Yeah. Because we got all the way to 95, it wasn't that big of a deal to waste the time there. We can go Mystic, Mystic, and then hopefully find the rest. Come on. Mystic, Mystic, perfect. So then we start at 90, and we clear back to the Dark Lord. And look at that, we got another wall. So it's still going to be somewhat quick, and I don't have to skip all the clearing. Rather, we can talk. What do we talk about? The next dimension? No, I don't want to spoil it. Never mind, you can just watch me clear, right? I mean, I've almost filled the time. There's one more room with me just jibber-jabbering. In fact, I should have hit this guy. I'm going to hit this guy. Yeah, now they're all clear at the same time. Done. Okay, so the Dark Lord. I can even cut out the previous one if I really wanted. That's fine. Failure is acceptable. And we're still going to do good things with this. Now, Confusion. If it hit anyone else, I'd be upset. Well, would I? So it wouldn't have killed them, and we'd have a chance, but we'd have 50-50 to do the damage. So I think he has 300 HP from memory, or 250, something like that. Either way, so we did 100, 120, 40, 60, and 80. And then 200, 240, so 220, 240. I think it's 250. So the next cast should do the trick, right? Does memory serve me correctly? No. Alright, one more cast. There you go. Works out perfectly. Right. If he Shadow Sliced, we'd also still be fine, because Shadow Slicer wouldn't hit 23. I think that does 18. Either way, it's not enough. It's a really slow animation. You don't want him to actually use it. But yeah. With 6 Mystics, as long as you only lose 1 around, you're more than happy. Right? You can clear perfectly. So that was the problem. We started at 5 and lost 1 straight away. Yeah. Oh well. That's the dimension cleared. We have 3 quests, that not that you can see it because they're behind me, to turn in for dimension 2. So I'm not actually going to farm. We're going to sell some stuff, get 2k, and just grab the bag of resourcefulness, I think. Right, so we just go sell. Again, you don't keep any equipment when you go. In fact, I can liquidate. Nope, bad. I want to keep the resources. I don't care about anything else. So we do that. And then liquidate, get 88 gold. So we have the 2k, perfect, which means we can grab either the locksmithing or the bag of resourcefulness. We're going to grab the bag of resourcefulness, even though we don't have that many materials, just because you can buy the locksmithing, you know, partway through a dimension and not really care. But yeah, what do we even get to keep? We get to keep bones, a bone, a key, which is significant because there's a quest for the key, and the bones again are necessary for the arena. But other than that, we can go to dimension 2. And we will definitely be picking the attack relic. I rather the attack relic. So the boss of Dimension 2 is an RNG fest no matter what, right? So you either have HP to survive longer for the RNG, or attack to clear them quicker, and we just want speed. So we'll take the attack relic. And again, we're just trying to get the first 3 relics, and then we're basically going straight to the end game shenanigans. Because they're really the only 3 relics you really need, right? Strength, HP, and gold. That's everything to scale the game. But other than that, we can now quit out. After it teaches me about relics, and check the time. So we did Dimension 1 in 29 minutes, right? Again, my world record is 26 minutes without a magic lock. So yeah, significant difference. Thanks to the RNG. But anyway, hope you enjoyed, right? So yeah, sorry about the challenge going away, but it is a lot of time investment that I unfortunately just don't have at the moment. So yeah.